Steel rail cold on my back, river breathing slow. You're standing there with wet boots, nowhere left to go. Your phone's still buzzing from the number that you dialed. Hands trying hard to look steady, eyes still too wild. Out here under this bridge, there's no neon glow, just the hum of the city from a distance low. You say it got messy, I didn't mean it this way. I say, they don't call me for clean nights, kid, I only come when it's gray. The story's already gone wrong, when the loud men run out of nerve to act strong. A white prints from door handles and car seat seams, carried silent bundles where the river eats dreams. Left cheap motel covers folded tight and plain. Watch red tail lights vanish down a safer lane. I'm the last short sentence in a long bad plan, the one who makes sure it ends where it began. You think this life is all about the way you pull the trigger, till you find out who they trust to make the shadows bigger. When they send for the cleaner, there's no turning back. If my boots hit this concrete, someone's off the track. I don't raise my voice, I don't shake or quiver, I just make sure when I'm done there's no witness but the river. You can play the tough one, call yourself a winner, but you're written in my ledger when they call the cleaner. Last week there was a brother thought he owned this lake, sat grinning in a diner spelling out his name. He left a loose end crying in a service stare, figured fear would keep it quiet, didn't see me there. By midnight I was slipping through a loading gate, metal door breathing rust hanging like fate. He never saw my face, never heard my full name, but he'll never tell a soul who really finished that game. I don't move for anger, I don't work for pride, I move for the code that keeps this chaos tight. No hurt for the helpless, no harm for the small, I only close the circles that the chosen ones draw. You stand where I once stood, thinking you're still free. Careful kid, this road ends standing here like me. When they send for the cleaner, there's no turning back. If my boots hit this concrete, you're already off the track. I don't raise my voice, I don't flinch or quiver, I just make sure when I'm done there's no witness but the river. You can chase that glory, Try to walk in thinner, but you're stepping into darkness when they call the cleaner.
Fluorescent hum in the hallway, long row of lockers on my right, badge on a hook in the middle, gun in a drawer out of sight, styrofoam cup on the counter, coffee dried into a ring, case files stacked by the exit, red stamps telling me what to bring, clock above the steel detector, blinking 1 past dead of night. I thumb the switch on the light bank, leave 1 strip of ceiling light. I've walked this place in uniform, I've walked it with no name at all, shook hands in the back staircase, took calls in the basement hall. Sometimes I move a schedule, sometimes I move a list of doors, trade a knock for quiet footsteps so a man can clear his floors. I write reports that lean a little, tilt the picture just enough, keep the bosses chasing thunder while I'm steering from the cuff. The law's supposed to own you, keep you bolted to one track, but I learned to feel the handle, pull it forward, pull it back. Every rule they wrote around me turned to links I learned to see. Now I'm walking with that chain folded quiet into me. I keep a leash on the law, drag it slow when I decide, choose which doors get kicked wide open, which can keep their secrets tight. I'm the calm behind the siren, I'm the hand that checks the key. I can tilt the scales at midnight and walk out like I'm still free. Power's not in flashing metal, just to prove what you can draw. Isn't holding back the thunder with a leash on the law. Pillars in the garage, yellow numbers on the stone, tail lights dripping down the ramp, someone pacing on their phone. Manila folder on my front seat, rubber band about to snap, one more name that bought a favor, one more line I let unwrap. Underpass along the river, rusted railings, seeping seams, boots on gravel, distant traffic, like a low mechanical string. There was a night they tagged a kid I knew by another name. I could have slid his folder sideways, let the river take the blame. But I'd cashed his last 3 chances, keeping heat off where he stayed. So I watched him close that jacket, that's a debt I never paid. I keep a leash on the law, yeah, but it keeps a leash on me. Every file I've ever twisted rides along where I can see. I'm the shadow in the doorway when the lights are burning raw. I can tilt the world at midnight, but I answer to that claw. Power's not in walking spotless like you never saw the flaw. It's in owning what you've been when you put a leash on the law. Corridor lights hum soft and yellow, platform drifting out of frame, paper ticket in my finger, stamped with someone else's name, suitcase by the doorway, scuff from all the jobs I ran. God walks past without a glance, thinks I'm just another man. This city's outline's getting smaller in the dirty window glass. Towers sinking into shadows as this train begins to pass. I'm not leaving 'cause I lost, I'm leaving 'cause I read the signs. Saw the way the circle tightened, saw the teeth between the lines. Cracked vinyl on this bench seat, metal rack above my head, coat folded like a sleeping dog, boots braced by the narrow bed, vending machine at the end car, humming through the carriage door, tastic cup of cooling coffee rolling lazy on the floor. I watch my own reflection hover over all that black outside. Eyes that learn to hold a secret, hands that never had to hide. I fed this place with quiet favors, moved his money, trimmed his claws. Never asked him for a crown, just the right to write my laws. You gave me steel in my backbone, taught me prices for my skin, marked the cost of every favor, every loss and every win. But you started eating your own legends just to keep the hunger fed. So I'm taking what I walked in with and I'm stepping out ahead. This train forgets my face when the daylight hits the plains, but these tracks remember names. can paint over my doorway, let another take my chair. But the steel under this carriage knows I carried more than air. I leave you with your kingdom and your bright and crooked games. This train forgets my face, but the tracks remember names. Factories fade to empty lots, then to fields and sleeping towns. Billboard frames with nothing on them, rusted stairs and quiet ground. A porch light in the distance holds a circle in the dark. Somewhere like that I'll lay my jacket on a smaller, safer mark. No more calls at 3 in the morning, no more last chance tight-lipped speech. Just a door that waits for my key, not for who I used to reach. I'm not trading in my nature, just the radius of my range. Still the man who keeps a promise, just a little off your chain. I came in on a younger ticket, single bag and shopping pride. Learn the language of the back rooms, how to stand and when to slide. Thought these rails would only pull me deeper into what I chose. Never pictured they'd be carrying me out before they close. This train forgets my face when the daylight hits the plains, but these tracks remember names. You can't wipe me from your ledgers, let the next man wear my crimes. But these wheels have felt my footsteps, counting out their quiet rhymes. I leave you with your alleys and your bright and crooked games. This train forgets my face, but the tracks remember names. Headlights cut a tunnel through the dark along this line. White paint sliding past like seconds I can't buy. There's a small town in the mirror, just a scatter of soft gold. Porch light on a lonely house where the night's taking hold. Steering wheel beneath my fingers feels like something I still own. Radio turned low, just the engine in my bones. Your window's getting smaller in the glass with every mile, but your name rides shotgun in the quiet for a while. Played quiet for a long time, cash in kitchen drawers, soft steps down the hallway, voices under doors. I took meetings
near the truck stops, where the air tasted like dust. Came back late and left my jacket smelling metal, oil, and rust. This last run turned ugly, but I pulled it back in line. Closed the trunk, brushed the trouble off the shine. Now it's only me and a duffel, and a creased up folded map, and a story in your pocket if they ever circle back. You can say I was with you, let the clock stay on your side, let the neighbors hear you talking while the town slept through the night. I'm your highway alibi, rolling past the exit signs, just a taillight in the distance, drawing all the crooked lines. If they come to ask you questions, let my name be what you hide. Tell them I was in your kitchen while these miles were passing by. I'll be gone before the dawn can pull the truth down from the sky. Out here I'm just a moving line, your highway alibi. I remember how your coffee stained the edge of every list. Little notes stuck to the fridge, under magnets and a kiss. Boots by the back door, keys in the same chip bowl. Your laugh laid on the sofa like it always ran the room. I could have stayed inside that picture till the colors all ran dry, but the road that built my name won't let me stay and let you lie. So I left my ring in a drawer beside a faded photograph. You'll find it when it hurts less, and then you'll know the half. Never park where someone counts the cars in every face. Never let a doorway see the real shape of your case. Never teach your heart a street your feet can't safely drive. Never hang your whole tomorrow where your hunters will arrive. You protect the ones you touch, draw the fire away, you turn yourself to moving steel and let them live their day. I'm your highway alibi, painted lines and humming tide, putting distance on the questions, feeding smoke to all their wives. If they come to search your doorway, let my ghost be who they find. Tell them I was on your sofa while this road rewrote my mind. I'll be gone before the sun can throw my picture in their eyes. Out here I'm just a rolling road, your highway alibi.
Boots on a cracked tile floor, locker door hanging crooked, paint peeled around the corners of the door. I slide my badge into the drawer, let the metal kiss the wood, hang my coat on a rusted hook where the straight ones used to stood. Evidence boxes in the shadows, dust sleeping on each case. I can feel this city breathing through the pipes inside this place. I clock out with a steady hand, knotted faces heading home. But my shift don't end at midnight, it just moves into the unknown. Now I'm parked by the old stone bridge, river moving slow and black. Dashboard clock says 1:30. No patrols on the stretch of track. Phone screen glowing on the seat, your last message still unread, asking why I keep my world in pieces, why you never see the threads. I got a notebook on my knee, pen tapping in the dome light haze, trying to pull one honest sentence through these crooked working days. I write your name across the top, then cross it out with one hard stroke. Some things don't belong in rooms where every promise gets broke. I want a gun in both directions, walk long corridors of doubt, shook hands with men I should drag in, men I should drag out. This badge is just a mirror, it don't change the face it hides. All it does is buy me time to choose which wrong I'll let slide. So I keep my badge in the drawer when the truth gets so denied. Keep my word in the dark where the law runs out of light. I'm the line they never print on any paper that they sign. I'm the hand that cleans the mess when the rules get left behind. You keep reaching for my daylight like I'm something you can claim, but I'm holding back the part of me that would drag you in this game. I remember your small kitchen, light above the sink burn low, steam rising from a single cup, your bare feet on the floor so slow. You said one day you'll have to choose if you're coming all the way. I just kissed you in the doorway and I filed that line away. Now the glove box holds a folder stamped with names you'll never hear, deals that kept your street from burning, debts that keep my conscience near. I'm not proud of every favor, but I'll stand behind each call. Better they write me dirty than let the fire reach your wall. First day in a sharp new jacket, empty holster on my side. Thought the world was black and white and I'd be walking on the right. Then I watched a decent man go down for telling what he knew. So I learned to keep my silence and let my choices speak it through. So I keep my badge in a drawer when this city starts to roar. Keep my deals in the alleys, keep my heart outside your door. I'm the line they can't erase when they need a quiet fix. I'm the shadow in the stairwell where the law and money mix. You keep asking for the whole man, like the past can just let go, but I love you from this
the wall. Back room door is cracked a little, like it's waiting for a call. There's a bar rag on the counter, streaks of something hard to name. My jacket's hanging from a nail hook, still half scented with the game. You're just pouring something quiet while I loosen up my tie. Another job slipped through this building, and it didn't really die. They don't dial me for advice, they only ring when lights go red. When there's something on the tiles that keeps on talking in their head. I learned early how to enter without stirring up the floor, how to fold the wrong intentions and escort them out the door. I don't ask about the story, I just straighten what's been bent. Wipe the names off cold steel edges, take the weight of their intent. But tonight there was a tremor in the voice that knew my code. I could hear a younger echo walking down that same dark road. I'm the last quiet call you make when the night has gone too far, when the floor is stained with stories and you can't erase the scar. I don't ask for your confession, I just set the pieces straight. I'm the last quiet call you make when it's already too late. I'm the gentleman of endings with your secrets in my hands. I'm the last quiet call you make when you can't take where you stand. Used to be a kid beside me, shared my lighter, shared my shirt, ran the same long tiled corridors, laughed at all the early hurt. He would practice in the mirror how to wear a steady face, said we'll never break our silence, we'll just move from place to place. When they whispered me the number, I could hear his old refrain, and I walked in like a stranger just to wipe away his stain. Don't mistake this glass for comfort, it just cools a working throat. Every choice is signed in silence, every favor, every note. I don't plead for some forgiveness, I don't trade my spine for clean. I just count the cost in shadows, then step back out of the scene. I'm the last quiet call you make when the night has gone too far, when the room won't stop its talking and you can't erase the scar. I don't bargain with your panic, I just fix what you create. I'm the last quiet call you make when it's already too late. I'm the legend in your corners, I'm the line you rarely name. I'm the last quiet call you make when your code runs out of frame.
gravel under boots and the bridge bones overhead, rust along the railing, flaking brown and city red. Trunk lid breathing open with the dome light burning thin. Your shadow on the concrete says you're itching to begin. There's a license plate still ticking, cooling down from the ride, and a plain black duffel waiting by the pillar at your side. Say, tell me what we're doing. Is it money, is it fear? I just nod toward the water, say we finish things down here. There was a man once called me brother, swore we'd never cut the stay, till he traded quiet loyalty for a louder kind of taste. I walked him to this railing when his numbers didn't track, and the river wrote an ending that we never called him back. You think power's in the whispers and the doors are swinging wide. You don't see the heavy stones you start to carry when you ride. Every favor, every secret hangs a weight inside your chest, and the river is the only place that lets those weights rest. I leave what the river keeps, where the current runs too deep, where the steel of this old bridge holds the secrets that we keep. You want a name that makes them move, a chair they know you earn, but that chair sits on the faces that this water never returned. I'm the hand upon your shoulder when you stare down from the beams, teaching you the price behind the code that builds your dreams. Look up at the traffic, hear this whole town breathe above. Every flashing pair of headlights thinks it's innocent of us, but they don't see the scrape marks on the rusted crossbeam line, or the way this concrete listens for a boot that feels like mine. You keep asking for the shortcut, for the quickest way to rank. I'm showing you the entrance carved along this heavy plank. There are nights the moving water brings back watches, rings, and sleeves, little ghosts of quiet choices that I never let them grieve. But I still lace up my gloves and I still answer when they call, 'cause the man who does the dirty work decides how much will fall. You can live your life in alleys or in rooms with leather chairs. Either way, a man like me is waiting somewhere on the stairs. So learn what the river keeps, what it swallows, what it spares. Every quiet little secret has to sleep somewhere it dares. You can wear the fitted jacket, sign the deals you crave as true, but the weight of what you order walks the night beside you too. I'm the one who stands right with you when the water takes its due. Well, and what the river keeps tonight will live its whole light inside you. Chrome stool squeaks when I sit down. Diner clock says 2:30. Neon buzzing in the window, painting red along my suit. Coffee in a chip white mug, sugar packets in a pile. You wipe down the same old counter, give that don't have no one smile. My badge is in a dresser drawer, under socks and folded shirt. Gun locked up in the hallway safe, still remember what it's worth. Tonight the line went crooked, like the letters on that sign. So I came here for the quiet, just to walk it in my mind. Shaking hands with suit and ties, and never see a holding cell. Taking calls from quiet numbers, telling me which truth to sell. I walked past the back room doorway when I knew what lay inside. Told myself a bigger picture, needed one more look away to slide. You can feed a hungry city with a little missing proof. Turn a chalk line into rumor, turn cold barrels in, no proof. But there's a file in my bottom drawer that I never learned to close. Kid with fresh ink on his fingers, and a stare that never goes. I wash my hands till the skin burns, still the stains stay in my head. Every favor that I bartered writes its own line in my bed. I can't wear that badge like silver, can't pretend it's shining new. All I've got is how I carry what I've done and what I do. I'm more honest with the badge in the drawer, when it's lying in the darkness of a life I can't ignore. Out here under buzzing neon, with his coffee losing heat, you can see the man beneath the metal, see the miles under my feet. I'm no saint and I'm no savior, I've walked side streets of them both, but I still sleep by a compass that won't bend beyond its oath. By the old bridge, blue light shaking on the stone. Boss said let it die on paper, send the witnesses back home. Brown envelope on my table, thick enough to shake the wood. When it landed like a verdict, that would never do me good. I took half and left half waiting, and watched it till the morning came. Used my share to keep a mother and a hallway out of shame. Paid her rent through 6 cold winters, kept her meter off the red. Never told her where it came from, never asked what might be said. I'm not clean, but I'm not hollow, I still answer to my shade. To the man inside the mirror, counting every trade I made. If they ever come to take me, let them find me on my feet. Not a hero, not a victim, just a man who named his heat. I'm more honest with a badge in the drawer. When it's quiet in the wooden box, I can't pretend anymore. If I clip it to my belt, they see the side I'm paid to show. But in places like this diner, you can feel what runs below. I'm no saint and I'm no angel, I've walked hand in hand with both. But I still live by a compass that won't break beyond its soul.
Blinds half open, no, a corner made of glass. This town's stacked beneath me like a record of my past. Contracts on the table with a fountain pen and cap. Monitor glow, drawing grids across my lap. There's a silver briefcase leaning quiet by the door, and an elevator key that only rides up to this floor. You can see the river of headlights from this height. Tiny moving promises, trying to get home tonight. I take a call on speaker, voice all shook sugar on the line, till they mention certain numbers that don't live with what is mine. I close the folder gently, let the silence set the stage. Say you're talking to a grown man, don't come here without a cage. The city don't love you, it just learns your every sin. Gives you what you grab for, takes more, coming back again. Every handshake on this carpet leaves a print you never see, till the floor beneath your leather starts to tilt just like the sea. I put ink on the skyline and the towers lean my way. Every quiet little contract tells the streets how they should pay. You see windows in the distance, I see wires and names and heat. I'm the calm behind the glass wall while it shifts under your feet. Yeah, writing on the skyline, let it run through every vein. You just feel the traffic moving, I decide who holds the chain. Yeah, yeah. Down on level 7, where the cameras blink in pairs, my own footsteps echo off the concrete and the stairs. There's a dark nameless sedan waiting nose toward the gate, with a folder on the backseat that decides someone's fate. I straighten up my tie knot in the mirror by the bed, then ride back to the top floor like it's just another day. Yeah. Sometimes in the window I can't tell which face is mine. Is it polished in the glass or the kid from factory line? But I don't beg this city, I don't ask it to be kind. I just keep the numbers steady when the pressure crowds my mind. If you think the world is homeless cause this office smells like pine, you ain't seen the way the ink looks when it's mixed with someone's time. I put ink on the skyline till the lights spell out my game. Every hallway, every keypad walks the edges of my name. You can call it clean agreements, you can call it quiet crime. Either way, these steel blue windows hold the pulse and keep the time. Yeah, I write ink on the skyline and I sleep above the strain. I'm the calm behind the glass wall, while this city moves my name. The city moves my name.
sink is running, pale swirl circle in the drain, tail hanging on the shower bar, folded over someone's stain. There's a plastic key tag on the nightstand, number burned into my head, coffee cooling in a paper cup beside an unmade bed. I wipe the handle with my sleeve, kill the lamp, adjust my tie. My reflection in that bathroom glass asks how long you gonna stay this guy. Call me when the shouting's done, when the story's gone off track, when a promise turned to panic and there's no way walking back. I straighten broken furniture, put the picture frame up straight, shift the rug to hush the struggle, set the clocks to match the fate. I don't ask about the motive, don't pretend to judge the game. I just walk in with a briefcase and I walk out with my name. 'Cause the mirror keeps the totals, every room and every town, every quiet, careful minute that I spent scrubbing trouble down. Every number on the highway sign is another place I've been, where the world woke up at sunrise, never knowing what left in. I leave no trace, just my name on the wind and in their nerves. I'm the shadow in the hallway when the mess outgrows their nerves. You can bleach the floor, change the sheets, rewrite how it all became, but when the night needs a clean slate, they remember just my name. Out the window is a diner with a buzzing broken sign, truckers nursing bitter coffee lost, men drawing crooked lines. I slide the motel Bible back exactly where it used to rest, lock the door and pocket silence like a card inside my vest. My boots know every stairwell, every backlot, every lane, every last time we swear, whisper that still ends the same. I've been walking like an eraser on the edge of other lives, keeping secrets in my footsteps, pulling stories back in line. There's a bag beside the bed now with a map, a spare ID, and a folded one-way ticket to a place they won't find me. I leave no trace, just my name fading softer on their nerves. Let the rumors do the talking for the ones I used to serve. You can call me when you're drowning, but I might not play that game, 'cause I'm taking this clean exit with no trace but my name. city blinds and dust. Metal desks, oh say, stacks of notes I learned to trust. Got this ledger open, pages curl from every storm we ran. Each thin blue line, a quiet sentence only I can understand. Door to the bar half open, chairs turned upside down. Neon from the front room flickers, cut stripes through this tired brown. You came up with me, carry bags through back doors, watch my back. We split cheap plates in diners, joked about never going back to that. But you like to roll the dice, where I just watch the count. You spend credit with loud hands, more than the house could mount. Boss asked me for the truth, said show me who's turning red. I ran my thumb down the column, stop where your name quietly bled. Funny how it's just ain't to the man who cashed the tables. But my hand slowed for a second when I marked you unstable. I straightened out the page, kept my eyes like stone. In this life, mercy's just a whisper you don't say out loud or own. I keep the lines in the ledger where your fate gets weighed and sold. I'm the steady hand with the pen while the stories turn to gold. From the front door to the back room, every deal runs through my mind. I'm the quiet judge in the margins where your life gets underlined. Power bar with simple numbers, paid in names I won't forget. I write the lines in the ledger, but the ink burns in me yet. They said it was nothing personal, just balance for the weight you threw. They sent someone else to drive you out past where the lights shine through. I stayed here with the books, heard the car fade into the dark, counted cash while the ticking on the wall carved another mark. Now your chair's just an outline in the dust along that wall. Only thing left of your laughter is a gap when the boys make a call. There's a ring you pawned once lying in my bottom drawer, silver dove with fingerprints from when we swore we'd want no more. Sometimes I spin it on the desktop, let it circle till it lies. Watching that small circle stagger feels like watching our disguise. I keep the lines in the ledger where a man stands waiting sold. I'm the steady hand with the pen in a world that runs on cold. From the front door to the back room, every secret runs through me. I'm the quiet judge in the margins where you're safe for history. Power barred with simple numbers, paid in ghosts that never quit. I write the lines in the ledger, and I'll carry every bit.
tired kind of go. Safe door sleeps behind me, combination set on cold. Ledger open on the table, fresh ink running on your name. You're standing by the window, eyes on all that burning frame. Clock hand ticks like distant knocks along this office wall. File stack leaning like a tower, waiting just to fall. You came up on smaller corners, now you're staring at my chair. You say you want the whole room, but you don't know what sits there. I started counting for a man who stacked his secrets high. He taught me how to measure risk in columns, not in pride. Every favor had a figure, every promise had a fee. He said you don't have to like it, but the numbers talk to me. Then I watched him miss a payment on a name he couldn't cross. Saw his picture leave the hallway, saw his family take the loss. I was left with all his ledgers, all his debts and all his keys. That's the night I learned that kindness walks behind the feet. You think it's just a doorway, just a different kind of room, but here every quiet favor writes a date on how you lose. There are lines in the ledger you can't erase. Every call you answer leaves a fingerprint in place. You can run these numbers, you can ride this game, but the book keeps turning back to your name. I'm the one who balances the dark against the gain, and the ledger never, no, it never forgets your name. Talk about expansion, say you're ready for your slice. You think these polished floors were bought at yesterday's price. See that chessboard in the corner, pieces waiting by the king. Half of them are quiet ghosts who thought they owned this thing. There's a folder with your habits in the second bottom drawer. Every time you lost your temper, every time you wanted more. Right now it's just a record, just a shadow in my file. One wrong move across this desk and it turns from note to trial. I don't raise my voice, I don't sell you any fear, I just slide the pages toward you, let the sums appear. You can take this seat beside me, keep your footsteps slow and clean, or chase that shining crown alone and pay for everything between. There are lines in the ledger, written deep and tight. Every late night bargain, every soft yes said in light. You can count your winnings, you can love your fame, but the ink still circles back to your name. I'm the quiet hand
Old station clock near midnight, platform humming soft and low, neon buzzing by the kiosk, throwing bruises in the snow. Suitcase waiting by my boot heel, ticket folded in my hand. Conductor checks it without asking what I carved into this land. Paper cup of coffee cooling by the trash can near the door. Every ghost I left in alleys knows I'm not theirs anymore. Take the metal steps in silence, feel the carriage shake and ring. Window holds a tired stranger framed in steel and city grime. Warehouse lights along the siding blink like debts that learn to hide. I can trace each little empire that I built along this ride. I taught money how to travel, turn back rooms into a chain. Now I'm cutting loose the circuit, letting go of my own reign. I don't leave because I'm beaten, I don't run because I'm scared. I just know the price of waiting when the table's overshared. I'm on the last train under my name, rolling out into the dark, leaving this city like a secret, taking back my beating heart. I won't beg it for forgiveness, it won't ask me why I came. I'm on the last train under my name, under my name. Headrest fabric smells of strangers, someone scratched a word inside. I run fingers through the letters like a message out of time. In the glass I see the skyline, finally losing all its teeth. Every bridge I ever bargained slides like cards from underneath. I remember quiet offices, heavy doors and measured lives, all the faces round the table when they felt me draw my line. City, you can keep your sirens, you can crown some other king, you can dress a younger hustler, let him wear my old steel ring. But don't stain my code with stories, don't rewrite the way I stood. I am leaving by decision, not by rumor, not by flood. I'm on the last train under my name, rolling past your rusted frame. Let the young ones chase your windows, fight for spaces in your game. I don't bargain with what's coming, I don't wait to lose my claim. I'm on the last train under my name, under my name. If you whisper when I'm gone, say I left before I fell. I'm on the last train under my
desk lamp throwing circles on this polished wooden grain. Leather keeps the shape of every deal I ever made in this domain. Clock hand taps the silence like it's counting what I owe. Ledger open on the desktop, every line a shadow row. You slide my glass along the counter, say you look like you don't bleed. I say I'm just a quiet current, telling thunder what it needs. There was a man who stood beside me when this floor was just a floor. We split a single bad cigar, laughed about the doors we'd door. He ran the blocks and stairwells, I just balanced what they earned. I watched the columns swell and tighten, watched the faces getting turned. One night the totals didn't love him, showed his share had grown too wide. On a single line I marked him, small red circle by his side. You think the trigger holds the power, think the barrel makes the call, but the small instinct initial is the one that moves it all. I'm the man with the lines in the ledger, where the plus and minus weigh who they're gonna measure. Every figure is a finger pointing quiet through the dark. Every settled page a cold decision through a heart. You can etch your name in marble, call yourself a rule setter, but the price behind your crown lives here in lines in the ledger. Next week there was an empty jacket where my right hand used to sit. They said he crossed an unseen border, said the numbers didn't fit. Outside this city kept on humming, all the lights stayed smooth and bright. Down below they washed the concrete, shifted traffic through the night. Up here the books were cleaner, just a smoother downward curve. So I raised a steady measure to the ghost I didn't serve. I was bought for steady vision, for a hand that will not shake, for a mind that sees the pattern, not the ripples that it makes. But some nights these quiet columns lean like faces in the glass. Ask me if I'd mark it once again and watch the moment pass. I'm the man with the lines in the ledger, where the plus and minus weigh who's loyal, who they'll sever. Every figure is a verdict drifting silent through the dark. Every settled page a cold decision through a heart. You can call yourself a legend, say you're steel in any weather, but the cost of every legend lives and dies in a ledger. fluorescent halo on the pumps, moths throwing bodies at the light. Paper cup of bitter coffee cooling on the hood tonight. Highway humming in the distance like a warning under glass. Motel sign across the roadside blinks and stutters as cars pass. Got a map rolled in a glove box, got a duffel on the seat, got a quiet on this dashboard where your laughter used to beat. I just closed the door on something that the papers won't explain. Left a building full of answers, left some money and a stain. There were faces at that table who don't ever lose a hand. I just smiled and took my cut, then drove it out of their command. You're at home with all the lights on, thinking I walked off your name. But I'm out here buying distance, so it never hits your frame. You were begging me to stay there, said you'd take the shadow too. But I've seen what happens later when the night leans in on you. Love is not a soft surrender, it's a line I will not cross. I won't trade your steady future for my narrow borrowed gloss. So I leave my heart at this gas station alibi. Just a car, a cup, a number on a lonely slice of sky. I can vanish past the exit, let the mile erase my style. Keep my name off every window, keep your world allowed to smile. If you ever feel me missing when the street lights start to die, know I carved your peace and quiet with this gas station alibi. Motel key is in my pocket, little brass that feels like lead. Room out back with faded curtains, bolt that barely holds the bed. There's a note I didn't write, you folded where my wallet sits. Every sentence turned to metal, so I spared you from the hits. License plate is streaked with insects, trunk still smells like golden nights. I've been washing off the evidence in small anonymous lights. I've seen men who love like cowards drag their women through their debt, watch them drink away the daylight, cashing in what love they get. I got ghosts that ride beside me, but they answer when I call. If I ever cross your doorway, it'll be on terms I hold. So I leave my trail at this gas station alibi. Let the cameras catch a stranger and the records tell a lie. I will carry what I carry, I will drive it down the line. You can sleep without the sirens trying to claim you as a sign. If you ever taste the distance when the dawn cuts through the sky, know I signed your name in freedom with this gas station alibi. sun outside. House machine humming like a heart I used to hide. Tasted cups by the sink, one cold ring from old coffee. Duffel by the door like it's been listening to me. Room number printed on a tag, chipped on one edge. Map folded on the nightstand like a quiet little pledge. There's a phone on the table that I'm not about to use. Got a page of words for you that I'll never let you choose. You said one day just stop, let the road roll past your door. But my work lives out on asphalt, not in living room floors. I've carried other people's trouble in the trunk and in my head, left a trail of quiet favors where their fear would have bled. You saw something underneath the lines along my eyes, thought there was a softer man behind this practiced disguise. But there's markers in my memory, debts that lean on where I stand, and faces in these stations that still know my steady hand. So I put it in this letter, in a language you won't read. The only honest act I've got is which road you never need. I leave the key on the nightstand like a small confession cast. Walk out past the humming ice while the headlights whisper past. If I stay, this life will find you, pull you through its quiet lies. So I'll be the empty space you curse beneath your morning eyes. I'm not running out in panic, I'm just finally keeping score. Key on the nightstand and my boots already at the door. Morning's gonna flood this lot and bleach out all the stains. Housekeeping with a cart will roll right through my remains. They'll strip the sheets, flip the mattress, never know my name. Just another moving piece that the highway never claimed. You might pass this place someday with someone not like me. Drive on by and never feel what this room tried to be. And that's the best I've got to offer. You forget this number sound while I keep rolling forward where my choices track me down. You wanted slower tables, steady clocks and softer days, but I was cut from backseat promises and unlit highway ways. Don't forgive me 'cause I left, don't forgive me if I stay. So I take the weight and go keep the bill from where you lay. So I leave the key on the nightstand, let it cool against the wood. Step into the blue-black parking lot, leaving more than what I should. If I stay, this life would mark you, write you into what I owe. So I move out like a rumor, only empty roads will know. I'm not asking for your blessing, I'm just walking like I swore. Key on the nightstand and my hand already on the door. Backroom light is buzzing in an office built of stone. Folders leaning in the shadows, every secret neatly known. Green lamp spills a tired circle on these numbers, black and clean. Out there glasses clink and murmur, here I write what won't be seen. You ask why I'm still working when the night's already bled. I say someone has to total all the things that go unsaid. There was you and your right-hand man. You remember how he moved. He could clear a crowded doorway with one stare, no words to prove. You were always on the front line, he was always at your side. I was always in the back seat, watching where the currents slide. When the bosses needed trimming, wanted names without a sound, it was lines across this paper that decided who stayed around. See these figures in the margins, every digit hides a face, every zero, every interest, every cut and every grace. I keep the balance in the dark, where the numbers never sleep. Every favor, every warning, every promise you can't keep. When they weigh your little kingdom against the bones beneath the floor, you will find my quiet handwriting on the back of every door. I'm the one who moves the burden when you think you've played your part. I don't pull the trigger, brother, but I keep the balance in the dark. That last year they came in heavy, talked of losses, talked of war. Dropped a ledger on the desktop, said they needed less than before. On that sheet your name and his name sat together side by side. I could tilt the tide to save you, let his wrist keep running wide. So I shifted just a fraction, signed the line and closed it up. Next week word came through a payphone, he went down, you just looked up. Now the docks are calm and quiet, and your suits hang straight and right, and you talk like you were born here at the ruling edge of night. If you dream of hands that grabbed you when the walls began to shake, know the spine that never trembled is the one I chose to break. Yeah, I keep the balance in the dark, where the numbers never sleep. Every street you walk in, comforts built on debts I had to keep. When they weigh your clean white collar against the hearts I let depart, you will hear a pen still scratching at the edges of your heart. I'm the one who fixed your future when the world was coming apart. I don't swing the blade that finds you, but I keep the balance in the dark. There's a narrow bar by the docks where the river moves slow and dark. Old clock over the counter, secondhand cutting like a remark. My coat still smells like bleach and metal and long cold nights. Rubber gloves in my pocket like folded forgotten rights. You pour me something plain, no questions hanging in the air. You've seen enough of men like me to know better than to stare. I was the one they call when your hand shook after the job. Headlights crawling on brick, you're breathing louder than the mob. I parked 3 streets away, wiped your prints off the chrome, packed your warm black jacket, walked you quietly home. Dropped your pistol in a drain where this city forgets what it sees. Kept my voice level and low, said walk, just breathe. Every scene I scrubbed for you, cut a quiet crooked line in a ledger only I read, locked away in my mind. And the list kept getting longer while the story stayed the same, till one night they slid a folder across and it carried your name. I'm the one who makes it look clean. Turn the red into silence, wipe the edges of the scene, hide the truth in the corners where the light won't lean. On the surface it's spotless, but it burns in between. You walk out like you're righteous while I goes through routine. I'm the man they trust to make it look clean. There was a motel by the highway where we laid low for a week. Faded curtains, humming vending machine, wallpaper tired and weak. You talk about disappearing, buying some quiet piece of land. Said one day I'll step away, brother, with cards shaking in your hand. But you never changed the way you move, just double down on the heat. Left a trail of nervous faces and numbers under every street. So when the order came, it wasn't dressed up as choice, just the same code rule spoken in another voice. Same envelope, same cash, same careful familiar code. Only your photograph inside, taking on some nameless road. I didn't argue or plead, I was past that kind of noise. You taught me early in this life, we stand inside our choice. I'm the one who makes it look clean. Shut the door on the echoes, leave no trace in between. Drop the weight in the water, let the river come between. To the world it's all quiet, just an ordinary scene.
clean.
Flickering strip light arms up the bathroom door, then blue towel on the handle, muddy boot prints on the floor, motel key on the nightstand with a plastic scratched out name, suitcase by the sink half zipped from when the bad news came. There's a page on my lap, ink bleeding at the fold. One more story I won't send to you before I hit the road. I'm the man they dial at midnight, when the shouting's long gone cold, when the stains are on the carpet and the alibis get sold. I wipe down more than tables in these low and humming rooms, folded shirts that weren't mine under tired fluorescent moons, kept your number in my pocket like a fuse I wouldn't light, did my talking with my silence in my boots at dead of night. You said there's something human hiding underneath your stare. I laughed it off and changed the subject, left you standing on the stair. But every empty hallway echoed with your name against the tile. Every door I closed behind me carried edges of your smile. Now there's a suitcase by the sink and your shadow in this glass. I'm the quiet last decision when they need the mess to pass. They can't pay for disappearing, they can't pay to make it clean, but they don't get to draw my ending like the scenes I've always seen. So I leave that suitcase by the sink, and I don't write where I'll go. I walk out as a cleaner, finally keeping what I know. Dresser, ring of brown around the lip, ice machine down in the hallway with that broken metal drip. I could drive back towards your doorway, leave this envelope and wait. Let you read what my hands carried, let you stand beside this way. But the circle that I walk in will just pull you through it too. So I underline this distance as the last thing I can do. I'm not asking you to save me or to bless the things I've done. I just won't let strangers own me or reach you through my gun. If you ever hear a whisper that I vanished in the night, know I packed the worst of me and chose a different kind of fight. There's a suitcase by the sink and the ink is running thin. I'm the last name on the paper when they want the dark walked in. They can buy their quiet endings, they can pray no one will think, but I'll trade this nameless number for the road beyond this brink. Yeah, there's a suitcase by the sink and your picture in my mind. I walk out as the cleaner, leaving all of them behind.
Resin hum above the counter, cracked chrome on the corner stool, coffee cooling in a white mug, radio talking low and cool. You're staring at your car outside, under buzzing yellow light, duffel waiting in the backseat, one-way fuel to chase the night. Motel key is on the table, key tag just says room 4. Scuffed boots tapping restless patterns on this sticky checkered floor. I see hunger in your posture, like the road already won. And I see the kind of questions that I carried when I was young. Driven down these endless ribbons with a trunk that wasn't clean, paid in folded quiet money, far from where I'd ever been. Learned that favors on a back road always come with hidden fees. Learned that friends who talk too easy are the first ones on their knees. Glove box full of folded paper, numbers nobody should read, names that never hit a ledger, quiet debts and quiet greed. If you move like this for long enough, you start losing track of days. But a man who walks on nothing gets erased along the way, 'cause his highway keeps a notebook in the dark behind your eyes. Every promise that you break shows up in lines you can't revise. This is my highway code, written in broken white lines. Keep your word and guard your face, leave your full name behind.
Don't chase every easy dollar. Don't outrun your own soul. You wanna walk away a man. You learn to pay, not lose control. I'm an outlaw, still out breathing, 'cause I held to what I swore. This is my highway code. Take it now, don't ask for more. Watching that ignition, like it's calling out your name, like the road is some beginning that will wash away your shame. But the miles don't make you cleaner, they just thin out who you are. Trade your laughter for a steady jaw and shadows in your car. You can learn in a courtroom, learning staring at the floor, learning watching paint grow older on a locked-in number door. Or you take these rules I'm giving, cut them somewhere in your mind, 'cause a man who walks this highway needs a line he will not slide. Never promise what you can't keep, never talk when you feel fear, never mix your love with business, never bring your home too near, never trust a restless stranger, never brag about your load. And remember, it's your choices, draw the map of this long road. This is my highway code, carved in the shoulders and signs. Keep your word and keep your distance, leave your birth name behind. Don't sell out for small attention, don't let greed take full control. You wanna leave on your 2 feet, keep a strong hand on your soul. I'm an outlaw, still out breathing, 'cause I stayed inside my law. This is my highway code. Walk it right, but don't walk at all.
Closing time, light on the bottles, chairs flipped up in a row. Neon in the front room, humming soft and low. You wipe down the counter, ask if I need one more. I say I already had too many nights like this before. My jacket's on the stool leg, my tie's a tired line. My badge is in a drawer uptown, but the gun's still on my spine. I walk both sides of the hallway, between concrete cups and cash. Filed a clean reports at noon, took the quiet drops of cash. I knew every back stair exit from the precinct to the street. Every number in the ledger matched the face I had to meet. And my partner, he believed me when I called that hallway clear. Never saw the silent bargain breathing right behind his chair. He caught the way I hesitated when the phone lit up that night. Said, "You sure we're not the ones who end up framed inside this fight?" I shrugged it off and kept on walking, but his eyes stayed on my hand, where the ink from dirty memos never really left my skin or stand. And now there's a badge in the drawer and his name on the stone. I'm the law that learned to whisper with the deals I made alone. I can hide a man in paper, I can lose him in a file, still talk straight into a camera with a flat and steady smile. But this badge in the drawer and this ghost at my side say a man who walks both hallways doesn't get a place to hide. There was a glass on the station tiles when they rolled him down the hall, just a chalk line by the lockers where he used to take my calls. For a city that was drowning in its own forgotten sins, while I balanced out the numbers, letting certain devils win. Now it's me in this back room and the rag across your hand, and the echo of his questions in these empty stools that stand. I'm not asking you for mercy, I still know how to aim. I just stack too many favors underneath another name. If I walk in when the sirens paint the ceiling red and white, do I burn the keys I'm holding or just disappear from sight? Lock them out of mine, but I'm done selling out brothers just to keep my record line. Yeah, this badge in the drawer, the look in his eyes say a man who walks both hallways has to pick which one he rides.